Rick and John graduated from dental school the same year and from the same university. Each went to a different city to begin their dental career as an associate. After 2 years, Rick bought a practice from a retiring dentist and John bought the practice that he was associating in. The size of each city was about the same, just 100 miles apart. Their chart base and demographics were similar. They were on their way to becoming successful dentists and living the life they had dreamed about when choosing dentistry as their profession. Rick's father had owned a very successful small hotel, and Rick worked all through high school. He worked every job imaginable, from busboy in the dining room to carrying luggage to guest rooms. No job was too small for Rick. What his father demanded was consistency in following the system he had written and ensuring that each guest was wowed with attention and customer service. When Rick became a dentist, he handpicked his team and insisted that manuals be written for each position so everyone would know exactly what was expected of them. He personally trained each team member from the front end to the hygienist. He always had his finger on the pulse of his practice and took one full day per week to do chart audits, team training, and to fine-tune the system. After a few years, he hired a practice consultant to guide and show him how to manage his practice effectively, just like his father had done in the hotel business. He needed new patients coming into the practice regularly, but more importantly, he had to keep them. He treated each patient just like a member of his extended family. He knew his patients by name and knew all about them. They, in turn, were very happy and eager to refer their friends and family to him. His practice just kept on growing. John, on the other hand, had come from a long line of medical doctors. He had lived a rather privileged life growing up, and his father wanted the very best for him. He never had any job in high school, vacationed to Europe in the summer, and he expected to have the same kind of success that his father enjoyed. When John started his dental practice, he spent his days off playing golf and taking a long weekend every week. He worked 9 to 5, and you could set your watch by him leaving the office. John's practice developed a number of problem areas. His schedule was spotty some days. He wasn't booked out more than a few days ahead, and patients were prone to canceling their appointments. He had staff problems, and it seemed every team member had some complaint. His turnover was above average. He felt that advertising, other than a small ad in the yellow pages, was a waste of money, and he left case presentation and acceptance to his front-end team. He got in the habit of delegating all the business side of the practice to the girls as well. Patients came back to the practice, but not as many or as often as he would have enjoyed. He had few referrals, and he spent a lot of nights walking the floor at home worrying about money, HR problems, and how to get more patients into the office. Rick and John kept in touch regularly, and as the years wore on, John could never figure out how Rick could afford to take such wonderful holidays with his family and why he wasn't always complaining about problems in his practice. Rick expanded his practice and even bought his own building. John refused to expand when he had the opportunity and blamed all his problems on the economy and the area he lived in. At retirement, Rick was able to sell his practice for a very handsome dollar and retire in style. He kept the building and rented out the office as a supplement to his retirement plan. John, on the other hand, didn't really have much of a practice to sell because the chart base had dwindled so much. In fact, the appraiser described his equipment and his furnishings as tired. When the purchaser did a chart audit, he claimed that John had completed most of the dentistry that needed to be done on these patients and secured a price reduction. After only 1 year post-retirement, John realized he didn't have the income to live the life that he wanted and had to return to work as an associate for a younger dentist. Unlike John, Rick realized early on that you have to put the time into every aspect of your business. No area is too small. He marketed his practice with multiple streams of effective advertising from the very beginning through good and bad years. It all paid off, and now he's able to golf any day he chooses, wherever he chooses.